Hello and welcome my fellow followers of Chaos to another Total War Arena video. So today we'll be looking at the Tier 5 Premium Greek Cavalry, the Prodromoi Scouts. Ancient names, how hard they are to to pronounce. Of course, since they are Greek, we will be leading with Alexander the Great. He's the assault cavalry general for the Greeks. What we have is a level 4 hammer, level 4 anvil, level 1 rapid advance, and level 1 wedge. So as you can see, hammer gives you the acceleration, speed, and charge bonus and stuff. Anvil is for infantry. If they're engaged with someone, the person that they're engaged with cannot do anything. They're disabled, so it leaves you very well for gives you a very good chance, rather, to charge into the rear of the enemy unit that you're fighting. I'm not running any infantry, though, so it's kind of useless. I just did this to level him up. Then we have Rapid Advance, which is excellent, especially for this unit, but we'll get into that once we start talking about them. This Rapid Advance gives them acceleration, turn speed, and just speed in general, and that's very useful for getting around the battlefield, and that'll add on to what I'm about to talk about in a second when we focus on this unit itself. And then Wedge, of course, just from the normal Total War games, is more charge impact, less defense, and a bit more charge bonus. I haven't really needed to use this. I would understand using this against a big block of undamaged infantry, maybe. But even then, the minus 80 melee defense, it just seems like it'd be a bit of a bargain, so I haven't upgraded this anymore. It doesn't seem to put down the melee defense, but nerf either. It just puts up the other things. But anyway, enough about Alexander. That's not what this video is about. This video is about the Prodromoi Scouts. So this is a Tier 5 Premium Light Cavalry. Now, you may be wondering, won't they get mulched? Well, not necessarily. Their only competition in terms of Tier 5 Cavalry is the Equites, and their stats will be on the screen here. If I bring up the stats of both units, so we'll have these guys here, and the Equites are of course on the screen now. We can see that their morale is the same, health is the same, armor, big hit for the Prodromoi. Of course they're a light cavalry, they have scouts in their name. It's okay. It's not even that big of a difference. 12, the same difference between the auxiliary and citizen cavalry at Tier 4. Their visibility range is the same, melee attack the same. Defense is actually higher on these guys. I don't know if this is because of my upgrade here or not. I don't know if it means 65 plus 2 or if it's 63 with the 2. I don't know. The weapon damage on these guys is much lower. 18 is the difference between the Equites and these guys, and their charge bonus is quite smaller. That comes with being light cavalry, of course. But don't diss these guys yet, because they're fast. Being a light cavalry at Tier 5, these guys can zip around. You can get rear charges very easily with these guys. You can pull out of combat successfully if you're not surrounded. And with this acceleration or rapid advance, you're just a lightning bolt across the battlefield. So of course there is also the topic of Tier 4 and 6 cavalry. Now, I haven't faced any Tier 6 cavalry with these guys yet, but I have faced Tier 4s, and that being the citizen cavalry. I haven't seen any auxiliaries. And these guys, in my experience, wiped the floor with the citizen cavalry. I lost maybe, I wouldn't even like to say 15%. I used all 3 units against 3 units of citizen cavalry. I wouldn't even like to say I lost 15% from the enemy cavalry. Some missiles came in and killed some of my cavalry, but other than that, hardly lost anything to the citizen cav, and they just demolished them. I don't know if that was just a lucky charge, because I did get the charge on them, but they just devastated them. So I would say that these are superior in the fact that at this tier, you're going to be having higher level commanders and such, and like it's no contest with these higher tier units. Of course, unless they charged you, but at the same time, you could escape from them. So it's interesting, the fact that they're light, facing up against mostly medium cavalry. So then, of course, at Tier 5, there's also there's two ranged cav units, the Tarentines and the Greek unit, being the Paeonian Cavalry. Those are both Jav Cav, and since they're not melee, I can't really compare the stats. They're just, you know, skirmishers on horses. Of course, when I unlock them, I will compare the two. But there's no comparison for these guys, of course, in this video because they are not melee cav. They would not stand a chance against melee cav. So yeah, without further ado, guys, let's try to find a game, and I will see you then. Now for the bit that you all probably came here to watch, the actual action of the video. So this is a pre-recorded game. This was out of about 5 or 6 games. This is the best game that I had. Not saying that I had to play a bunch of games to do good, but I just sat down, had a session, and in one of my last games, I had this, and this was the best result that I got. I don't know why I checked that. I thought I could see what everybody was using for a second there. That was kind of dumb. So I see my team has a lot of cavalry. I have Equites, Tarentines. I'll give you a little look at those guys because I haven't seen them before. And then the rest of our team is mostly infantry and a little bit of skirmishing power. But it's interesting that we have so much cavalry because cavalry is very good, and having some good cav players on your team is always good. And this team was amazing. I'm just going to say it right now. This game is probably the best game of Arena I've played. You'll see for yourself the results that we get by the end of the battle. This does drag out to the end, so please be prepared to possibly watch 15 minutes of battle footage. If I don't find anything to commentate over, you know, I will edit it out. But as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm staying in this field, and that's to make sure that if anybody goes down the middle, they can't see me. My team spots some Principes in the town. That's a tier 5 heavy infantry for the Romans, and they're also supported by some Triarii. So someone is, you know, trying to protect themselves from cav flanking. So I looked at that, and for a second I thought I would go to the town, but I noticed that one of my friendlies spots on the map enemy pikes that are holed up. So when I get into the town, you'll see that I notice them, and then I get the hell out of Dodge. Basically, I see them, and I'm like, well, let's keep going. And then we see the Tarentines. There we go, doing their job. They're harassing the enemy stationary units pretty much. And here comes the fact of what I was talking about, keeping these guys moving. This rapid advance ability, these guys fly past everything. You can see how fast I'm moving now. Or, well, if you're not actually playing the game, it's a bit different. But you should see these guys compared to heavy, medium cavalry. It's crazy. So I find an enemy Prodromoi scout player. That's interesting. Our Equites, I believe, get into a mix with them. And then I noticed some foot companions. So I realized that we're in a very high tier game. I'm facing off against tier 7s and sometimes even 9s, which is not good. There is a tier 9 player near the end that I noticed. So I thought that was interesting that I got placed like that. So I see there's an enemy unit of Equites over here on the right, so I move my cavalry up. But then I realized that we have 2 units of friendly cav. I only need 1, so I send those guys up, and these guys I keep in the field, just to keep them from being seen. So these guys never even got to saw me, rather. Got to see me, whatever. Whoops, got to saw. Yeah. So we can't catch them because we had to drag through a bunch of enemy units. And then I noticed these ASPIS companion cavalry, and I was like, oh boy, tier 7 melee cav. That's gonna be interesting. I have all my abilities though, so I thought if I could get the charge on them, I'd go after them. But then I seen they were going next to those foot companions, so I called that off. And I just prayed that they wouldn't come after me. So I managed to catch these enemy Equites that were running away because they didn't notice my cavalry coming this way. So I charge into them and catch the edge of the unit a little bit. So that causes enough damage that I believe we're able to catch them and then rout them. And as you can see, I wish there was a replay feature so I could be doing this in the game and showing you the map and stuff. But as you can see, there's a huge brawl going on over here. We've managed to push the pikes out of their position on this side, which is nice. Actually, well, I can't really say on this side because you guys can't see where I'm pointing. Over on the left over there, you see we pushed the pikes from where they were, and in the middle there, right in front of my cav, there's a bit of an engagement going on. So we managed to catch that a few units of Prodromoi scouts, so that's nice. We didn't catch those ASPIS companions because they went into the melee there, as you can see. They didn't give a crap. They just ran right into it. But as you can see, we're outflanking the enemy now. in that engagement there. I decided to pull my cavalry away from that just so I can get some rear charges and stuff. I take a look over at the left to see what's going on over there, and we've won the day there, which is great. I start sending this unit over there to the right to kind of flank around, but then I realized that, no, I kind of need to link everybody up. So I bring them back, and I also seen that these ASPIS cavalry, ASPIS companion cav, are coming out. And this is where something interesting happens. I'll let you watch. I get a charge with all 3 units, and you should see the damage that I did to even a tier 7 melee cav. After the battle, I'm going to be showing the stats of the ASPIS because I don't want to cover up the screen of the battle. But look at this. I know it is 3 units versus 1, but working together with your units like this, look at that. Almost instantly, hardly losing any cavalry to them. That gave me a huge boost in points, taking out a tier 7 unit with a tier 5 one. As you can see, I'm getting a bit of CPU lag. I don't know what that's all about. Something's not working right, apparently. That's fine. That's just somebody saying to hold their position. So I decided that I was going to leave that unit, but they came back almost instantly, so I routed them again, and there we go. We wiped them out. So then I realized that this enemy position is completely undefended now, so I decided I'm going to try to get some rear charges. Due to the angle, the weird angle that the streets are in, I don't get a good charge. I lose a few cavalry, but it still works out in the end. And as you can see, us and the enemy team are almost tied now. They're catching up really quickly because of this brawl in the middle. And I believe over on the left side, on the right side of the map, they are doing a lot of damage to some of our units. So as you can see, my game froze there because I'm getting a 1.2 second delay in CPU lag. I don't know what that was all about. Might have had something open in the background or something when I recorded this, I'm not sure. But as you can see, I lost a few cav, didn't get any kills really. So I decided to pull out of that. I seen there were stakes on the ground, so I said, screw that. I'm leaving the town. I'm going over here. Because the guys over there really need another full cavalry player. So I pop rapid advance again to get over there quicker. And I'm pretty sure here you can see the speed of the Prodromoi cavalry a lot better. As you can see, they're just soaring across the field there. I was going to move in, but then I seen some thorough spearmen. And I thought, well, no way, I'm going against them. And as you can see, we've racked up over 2,000 points. That's not too bad. There's still much more left of this battle, though. So I just decided to completely avoid those thorough spearmen going around their base. And there they are, fancy-looking devils. As you can see, over behind the enemy base, there is 3 units of CPU. Are they Principes? I think 3 units of AI Principes. So I was thinking of charging them, but then I noticed that our offensive here is kind of getting stomped by the enemy cavalry. So I thought I'd come in there. And there's the tier 9 units I was talking about. I think they were what, Praetorians? Is that what they were? Yeah, Praetorians. 2 units of Praetorians there. So that's pretty interesting. Tier 9s. I decided to send 2 units against them, or 1 rather. And 1 unit goes after the Praetorians and crushes them. You can see they just get completely wiped out. And now these 2 units I moved back here because I seen there was some enemy cavalry. But I decided to move back because there was a lot of enemy infantry there. And then the enemy Prodromoi scouts actually chase after me. So we actually get into a bit of an engagement here now in a second. I decided to go back down the hill with all 3 units to face them head on. And of course, due to the weird line of sight, I don't get a good charge, and they destroy one of my units pretty much. One of them was brought down to very low numbers, and I hardly killed any of theirs. But I managed to pull my units out of there because we weren't surrounded, and we had enemy allied infantry in the vicinity, so the enemy Prodromoi scouts actually pull out anyway. So I managed to get away with all 3 of my units. And we can continue on, and we then take out some of these Equites that are up here harassing our infantry. So that's good. We actually caught them, so we get to do a lot of damage to them. And then there's an enemy unit. That's one of the CPU's units of Principes is also up here. So I think we might charge him. No, they're running away, and they're just getting cut down. So never mind. As you can see, one of my units is almost completely wiped out. Due to fighting. So we win the battle against those Equites, and I try to charge into these Prodromoi scouts. It sort of works. I catch a few of them, but they just managed to pull out. And at that moment I lost Alexander, which kind of sucked. But as you can see, these guys aren't looking for a fight. They want to take out those archers and get out of here. But I ain't letting that happening. There we go. I'm not letting that happen. I chase after them, as you can see. And I pop charge, and I managed to catch a few of them like before. But where they're already running away from me and they're not engaged, they do manage to get away. But one of their units almost gets pulled into the fight with me. The enemy player was very much paying attention. As you can see, we've already almost gotten 4,500 points, which is amazing. But there we go. We catch that enemy unit, and we eventually rout it in very short order. Once this third unit gets in here, they're just like, oh, screw that, we're running away. So yep, they get flanked, and then they start routing. There we go. So I decided to just chase that unit until it's completely gone, and that should be right about now that it breaks. There we go. And yeah, then we push on. As you can see, we were losing for a little bit earlier. I forgot to mention that, but we've gained a 5,000 point lead. So that's excellent, possibly due to the collaboration between my team. Or is it collaboration? Teamwork? Whatever. Between my team taking out a lot of the units up here. We did end up losing that offensive to the base, though, so I decided to pull out so I can help these guys, these two Tarantine cavalry units. So at this point, my team is saying, don't die and we win. I've racked up over 5,000 points, I think that said just then. So, yeah, that's pretty intense. My game completely froze up there. That scared me. I thought it was going to crash for a second there when I was recording. I remember that now. But as you can see, I just charge into these. I was going to charge into those guys, but then I just seen this bigger unit here, so I charge into them. We catch a few of them, but it wasn't as effective as I thought it would be. It didn't seem like many of them actually got knocked over, so I decided to pull out of that before I lose more cav. And sadly, I actually lose one of my units to them because they get sandwiched between those Principes and our own cavalry. So that kind of sucks. And I tried to do another charge, a cycle charge, but that didn't work out. My horses just trotted right into the enemy infantry, so I pulled out of that. And I decided to run back. And I was going to charge again, but then I decided against it. And, or actually, no, apparently I do charge. Nope, that's what I thought. I pulled out. I wait for my abilities to come back. So I sit and wait for anvil, or hammer, rather, to come back. And then I charge these guys, and we get rid of them pretty quickly. So I make one unit charge the first one, the other unit charge the rear one, and then we just hammer away. It seems like this player just gave up, because he didn't even try to defend himself from getting rear charged by my friend there. But either way, we take them out pretty quickly. I notice they are killing my cavalry, so I'm pretty sure that I pull out of this. And also some enemy Equites are coming in. Very diminished units, but they can still do some damage to my lightly armored horses. So that unit ended up not routing, and we just say, screw that, we're leaving that. Because I noticed there's a unit of enemy cavalry going for our base, I believe. At this moment I noticed. It might be in a little bit. No, there they are. I noticed them. So I decided to chase after those guys because they decided to go for my base. So we just decided to chase after them for a little bit. I look at the enemy team. A lot of the players did good. This was a very good game. Huge kudos to everybody in this game. They did really well. Hopefully I can look forward to more games like this in the future. But yeah, you can see I'm just chasing them. And you can see the huge distance they have between me and them. And this shows you the speed of these guys. It's not that much higher than the Equites, of course. But, actually, are those even Equites? I'm not sure. That might be the... Yeah, that's actually enemy Prodromoi scouts. Never mind. But using Rapid Advance, you can see that I can catch up to the equivalent unit that isn't using it. So we start closing the distance pretty well here. And I actually managed to mess this up because I pressed charge too early and I completely run right past them after they turn. So that kind of sucked. Like, see, they start turning, I charge, I just run right past them. If I didn't do that, I would have caught them. But after chasing them for a little bit more, I decided to just leave it because they're getting shot to pieces by the friendly Tarantine Cav. So I just decided to leave that. And yeah, at this point, we know that we've won. It's pretty much impossible for the enemy team to wipe us out in a minute now. So it's pretty much just a waiting game until the clock runs out. We managed to get ourselves a nice, like 5,300 point lead or something like that. My math is wrong, obviously, probably. I think there was a math mistake earlier in this video. I don't know, probably. Math isn't my strongest point. So I see one of my teammates says GG team, and I go ahead and say, yes, I agree with him. Excellent work, everybody. Or job, everyone. Yeah, there we go. Happy face. Did I do the happy face? Oh, I didn't put a happy face. No. But I mean, we lost a lot of cav, but we make it out with these 2 units. So, not too bad. We're even capping the enemy base, so some other people are going to get some points. I'm not sure if I look at my score before the end of this. But, it's not really a big deal. It was in the realm of 5,500, I believe. So I start going over this way, and right as the timer runs out, I see this huge unit of spearmen. I'm like, oh lord. But yeah, as you can see, they get they didn't get anything. So yeah, now we get to take a look at what we got from that battle. Thankfully, when I recorded this, Alexander didn't take long to get out of that battle. And look at that, we have a whopping 1,070 XP from these units, 450 commander XP. And just like the auxiliaries, these guys are a premium unit, like I said earlier, so all that XP went straight to the commander XP as well. So just like that, with 214 gold, I got an extra 1,000 commander XP. So yeah, these guys are amazing. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit from that battle and enjoyed what happened there. So here I'm going to be showing the stats of that ASPIS cavalry. As you can see, definitely not the same as what my guys were using. But 3 units versus 1, you know, you can pretty much get out of any situation. But anyway, guys, this has been the first episode in my new edited kind of series for Total War Arena. I hope you enjoyed. This has been Overkill as always, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.